Hello and welcome to another episode of GameSpot Plays here from our London studio. Today we are going to be playing Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City. I'm Guy Cocker and I'm joined by Jane Douglas.
Hey Guy, all right.
Jane, you've seen a little bit of the game already. I'm coming fresh, but you've been playing it with Adam, who is also here from Capcom, who's actually going to be playing the game. So I'm hoping you guys are going to be experts on this.
That's correct.
Hope so.
Welcome, Adam.
Hello guys.
So Jane, tell us a little bit about this section and give us a background to the game itself.
Okay, so before we jump in, it's a squad-based Resident Evil flavoured shooter. You can play single player like we are now, or in co-op with 3 other players.
And this bit, it's a little bit into the game now. Adam, who's the character you're playing as?
So we're playing as Bertha, who is the medic. She's one of the 6 bad guys, because say you're playing as the bad guys, the Umbrella Security Services. So she can, one of her special moves, she can kind of regenerate a bit of health, which you'll see me, I will probably need in a little while, no doubt.
Okay, all right. Let's open the door and have a little bit of the game. Chris, if you can bring the audio up on this bit.
So here at the moment, it's just hitting the enemy AI, because it's not just about zombies and the BOWs.
So Jane, tell us a little bit about the backstory to Operation Raccoon City. Where does it fit in the Resident Evil canon?
All right, I'm glad you asked. It's set between 2 and 3, so it's in 1998 in Resident Evil chronology.
Yeah.
Like Adam says, you're playing Umbrella Security Services. You're sent in to clear up. You're the clear up crew after the T-virus outbreak. You're there to destroy all the evidence and maybe the people who are going to tell on Umbrella.
So you're one of the bad guys, really?
You are emphatically one of the bad guys, yeah. And Leon Kennedy's around somewhere. You're sort of on the other side of the wall, so you're reliving the same events from a different perspective, after a fashion.
Right, okay.
In some similar locations, but now you're in Raccoon City Hall.
Yeah, okay. And so do we think we're going to get a peek at some of the sort of behind-the-scenes stuff from the other games? And is there any kind of crossover?
Yeah, we've seen some characters, some lesser characters from the main game. Actually, we saw at a showcase event a little while back, and in the trailer you see Leon Kennedy. So there's definitely going to be some cameos, some crossover stuff.
Good stuff. Tell us a little bit about the sort of the cover system and the way that you're moving, because it seems a little bit, I guess, less restrictive than Resident Evil 5, I guess.
Yeah,
in terms of movement. It
does feel pretty different to Resident Evils of late, traditional Resident Evil games, as you can see. So it's a third-person shooter, and it feels more like a, I guess you might say, a conventional third-person shooter than that really sort of typical Resident Evil control of late. There is a cover system, and it's kind of an automatic, dynamic, sticky cover system.
Right, so as soon as you are in front of cover, that your character kind of gets into it automatically.
Yes, that's right. Is that how you describe it, Adam?
Yeah, no, completely. You can kind of pull away from it depending on your situation and who you're fighting, because obviously it's kind of relevant depending on who you're fighting, whether it's an enemy AI or a zombie. So yeah.
We've got a bit of a cutscene here. Let's jump back into the game and watch how this plays out.
So we just saw Nikolai betraying his squad earlier in the game, caught on CCTV. Nikolai you encountered earlier on in this level. We started about 5-10 minutes in. Whole levels, perhaps half an hour long, depending on what difficulty.
Adam, because this is a preview build, you're playing single player, but it will be co-op in the finished game.
Yeah, no, it'd be co-op, so you can play with your friends online. Which kinds of get real elements. So when you see if I was to be infected, you can come over and come and help me. Or yeah, just say you can obviously play on your own as well.
You mentioned, I think, at the beginning of the demo that each character has an individual skill. This one is healing.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about some of the other different character skills in the game?
Yeah, so they're all kind of stereotypes. So Four Eyes, for example, her ability is to turn the BOWs onto each other. So if you've got like 8 hunters, you can turn one, so it helps you out. Vector, he can become invisible for a little while, which can be, obviously greatly helpful when you're trying to go for a massive field of enemies. They're all tailored individually, and also because you can choose your teammates, you can tailor it to the type of campaign that you're going into.
Like it says here, if you just injure and don't kill someone, like you can see on this guy, he's bleeding pretty profusely, and the zombies will go for him instead of for you and your squad. And same if you get injured or one of your squad get injured, the zombies will make a beeline for you.
Right, okay. Now, Adam, I'm not suggesting that you do this, but if you do become infected, then you have to find an antidote pretty quickly, right?
Yeah, definitely. You'll see that your energy bar will deplete. Hopefully you have a spray on you to cure the situation. If not, you need to start killing people, so hopefully one of the items that come up is a viral spray. Otherwise you can eat your teammates.
Nice melee moves in this, as we said.
So you tried to throw a grenade there, so he made me bleed, so the zombies would turn against me. But I'm too quick.
It's a similar item system from the other Resident Evil games. I can see you picking up the green plants.
Yeah, no, as I say, it's trying to welcome new players at the same time, because especially it being set around kind of the Resi 2, Resi 3 era, there's a lot of nods towards that. So the first aid sprays, the herbs. There's various special items you can pick up throughout the game as well, and data as well. And the more data you collect, the kind of more information you find out, so to speak.
So there's an experience point system as well, which I don't think we'll get to see right now, but you can spend it on skills or on new weapons. And Adam was saying earlier, there's a Magnum to unlock, which is a nod to the Magnum of earlier games.
Right, okay. So you pick up experience points during the game, and then you can invest them in your character and in other characters?
Yeah, so you'll see at the end of this level, there's a typical ranking system, from the S to the D, depending on how well you do, and you'll get the XP points which you can spend back. So when you go back to play, whether it be you want better weapons or that your special skills are better, you can kind of decide. You'll see that some of the weapons as well, although they're more XP, it's kind of like a nod to Resi.
Sorry, Adam, I'm making you talk here, and you're getting attacked by zombies.
Yeah, we should be doing the heavy lifting while Adam shoots everything.
Uh-oh.
So now they're going to hunt for me.
So we just saw the squad destroying a bunch of servers. You're in the server room. They have to destroy all the evidence that Umbrella's been up to stuff in Raccoon City.
Adam, what's the checkpoint system like? Is it fairly generous? If you die, you don't have to go.
This is probably the hardest part of this level, so you might see it in a moment, but it's dependent on your difficulty. But yeah, there's probably, I'd say in this level roughly, there's about 9 or 10 checkpoints, so it's not too harsh. But again, it's all dependent on your difficulty.
I thought you were going to say this is the hardest part of this game. Please stop asking me questions.
No.
So what are we looking at here in terms of build? When's the game out? Is this a fairly advanced build of the game that you brought into there?
It's due out March 23rd.
And that's 2012.
So, yeah, so it's fairly far on, but yeah,
still some way to go.
Still a little way to go, yeah.
And it's being developed, Jane, by a Western developer.
Yeah, by a Canadian developer. It's Slant 6. Did some of the SOCON games.
Right. Okay.
Yep.
So this is the first time I think Capcom have worked with those developers.
Yeah. Oh dear.
So we're approaching the end of this particular level now.
Yeah.
All right, let's watch a bit more of the action, Chris. If you can just bring the volume up on this, and we'll about the last few minutes.
If you've got night vision goggles, that would be a great help in this part because it's very, very dark.
Right, okay. So there's a mine?
Yeah, so it's kind of like, again, I guess a nod back to the old Resi in terms of some of the finding items and the puzzle element. So in this part, you need to go and find all of the evidence and destroy it. But it's a very, very dark room and it's filled with mines everywhere as well.
Umbrella secures its
I know, yeah.
suspicious data with laser mines.
So what's the evidence you've got to destroy in this room?
It's
The blueprint?
it's the water plan.
Right.
Which all feeds back into the story.
I'm sure Adam can't tell us anything about it, but my theory is that the squad gets betrayed by Umbrella or something like that. Because I know that you're the bad guys, but there's got to be some sort of story developed.
I'd say so. I'd say so. What makes you say that, Jane? Is that just
a suspicion, just a bet. I'm getting my bets in early. that Umbrella, I don't know, cut them off or do something and they have to fight their way out.
Well, Adam, you probably can't talk about that, but can you talk about enemy types in the game? I mean, we've seen Nemesis in the trailer.
As I said before, you know, you've got to remember it happens around the Resi 2, Resi 3 era, and there are various nods to old characters. So there will be some pretty spectacular enemy fights.
You can't tell us what the Nemesis is going to be in there.
I can't yet, no, afraid not.
Just staying coy. All right. Some nice diving through the mines there as well, Adam, at that point. It was good.
Of course, it's moved on. It's fast paced for this one. It's not just kind of shuffling forward and shooting.
Right, and fast zombies also.
Yeah.
Faster zombies.
They serve their purpose most excellently. Just as you...
Command. Nikolai, hold your position! Forget Nikolai! Look!
There you go.
That is confirmed.
The first of the VAWs.
So these guys will infect you if they get their tongues on you for long enough, and then you'll need an antiviral spray.
Do we, aside from the main story, do we know if there's going to be multiplayer at all in the game, Jane? Apart from the co-op, is it going to be competitive multiplayer?
I don't think so, or if there is, I'm not aware of it, or it hasn't been talked about yet. It looks pretty